Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Sunday, October 6th, 2019, and I am here at the Raritan River, and I am trying to catch me some fall smallmouths. In the past few days, the water temps in the river have dropped about 10 degrees, and I figure that's going to make one of two things happen. Either it is going to trigger these fish to start feeding up for winter because of the dropping temps, or those dropping temps will completely shut the fish down until temperatures stabilize. And right now I'm about 50-50 on both. So we're just going to have to see what happens today. Because these fish should be targeting bait fish this time of year, I am going to be starting out with my bladed jig swim bait combo, and I'm just going to cast it around into some likely spots and see if the smallmouths are indeed on the feed on this early fall day. Well, I was fishing through that slack water with the bladed jig and I was not getting any bites, so I'm going to move up here to the very bottom of the falls in this faster current, and I switched over to a regular 1/4 ounce jig head with a swim bait on it, and I'm using the heavier weight to get down in that fast current. We'll see if this makes a difference. There's a lot of debris in the water, and it's not leaves like it normally is this time of year. It's these weeds. I guess the weeds upstream are dying off, and they're just drifting down and collecting in this eddy. I mean, you know, look at this and that over there. That's all dead weeds. I don't know what caused it, if that's just because the water temps are dropping or there's a water quality issue, I'm not sure. But looks like that's something we're going to have to deal with today. Well guys, getting debris on every other cast and getting bites on no casts means time for a change. So I crossed back over to the other side of the river, and I'm going to see if there's any more hungry fish on this side of the river than there was on the other side. And if there's one, that means that there's more. Well guys, I've been here for a couple hours and I haven't even gotten a touch. So this spot has been a total bust today. And I gotta say, this whole year, this spot has not been the sure thing it has been in years past. It's been very tough getting bites out of here this year. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm just hitting it under bad conditions all the time, but this spot's been pretty disappointing so far. So I'm going to head elsewhere. I'm going to move downriver a little bit, and I'm going to see if I can catch anything in the shallower, more riffly water below the dam. So sit tight, and I will see you in a couple of seconds. Alright guys, well here we are at the next spot. I've moved a little bit downriver, and since there weren't any biters in those deep holes upstream, I thought maybe they'd still be in these shallow riffles like they've been all through the summer. And it's apparent that they're not keen on soft plastics today, so I switched to a little inline spinner. Maybe they'll be more inclined to bite something that throws off some flash and vibration. Is that a fish? I believe it is. That did not take long at all. Not big, but it's fish number one. Little dinker smallie on the spinner. Go tell Big Mama I'm coming for her. There's another one. Another dinker out of the fast water. Alright, oh, this one might even be smaller than the last one. But he hit that spinner pretty aggressively. Look at that, my thumb barely fits in his mouth. pretty fish, just kind of small. Oh, there we go. Another dinker. Ooh, hooked this guy in the eye. That's not good. Oof. Yeah, his eye got pretty jacked up, unfortunately. Well, I've caught bass that are blind in one eye before. So, he should make it. There's a fish. He hit it pretty hard. Alrighty. He's a hair bit bigger than the other ones. Still nothing to write home about. But I'll take it. There's one. Hit it in just about the same spot. Alrighty. Well, a dink fest is better than a skunk fest. There's one. Very next cast. I think I might have finally found a school of fish. If it is a school, though, it's kindergarten, because these guys are about as small as you can catch. There we go. Another little dinker. Little tiny guy. This might be the smallest one yet. Gotta put some meat on them bones. Oh wow, you rocked that. He hit it way out there too. All right. Another bite-sized smallie. Up, and off he goes. I can't complain about the numbers of fish out of this spot, but the size has been leaving me a bit unsatisfied. Alright guys, well, worked my way all through this riffle and caught a bunch of little tykes, which is all well and good, but we all know that there are some much bigger smallmouths in this river, and now I'm going to look to get me a few. And I know just the spot to look for them. Alright everybody, here we are at spot number 3. This stretch right here has yielded some pretty big smallmouths for me this year, and I'm hoping that it's got a little bit of magic left in it and we can end the day on a high note. There we go, there's a little guy. Oh, he came off. Well, There's fish here too. See if any big ones want to play. There's a fish. Whoa! Hit it right in that little bit of slack water. Man, he's down in that current. He is pulling hard. All right. Oh, I kind of hooked him on the side of the head. No wonder he got broadside in the current. Well, not technically a catch, but he put up a nice fight anyway. There's a fish. Woo! Nice jump. Come on, buddy boy. All right. Oh, barely hooked him right in the tip of the nose. Look at that. All right. So, not a giant, but getting a little bit bigger. Well, guys, I took off that inline spinner. It was really only getting me a bunch of smaller fish. Since I'm after some larger fish right now, I decided to switch over to the Pop R. But it was fun using that spinner again. It was the one I was using was a number 2 silver Mepps Aglia, and that was like my original go-to lure. You know, even before the Raritan River special was a thing, and even before curly tail grubs, I would always go to that number 2 silver Mepps Aglia, and I would catch the hell out of them on some days. So it's good to see that it has withstood the test of time and can still catch a mess of fish out of this river. There we go. Fish on. I don't think it's very big. He was keen on that topwater. Oh, would you look at that? It's a big red breast sunfish. Well, I tied on a big fish lure and look what happens. I mean, for his species, he's a pretty beefy size, but that is hardly the lunker I wanted. Alright, back he goes. Oh, and the rain has started. Wonder what that's going to do to the topwater bite. Hasn't been impressive so far. Could make it better, could make it worse, I don't know. If it really starts pouring, it's probably going to make it worse. Well, guys, absolutely nothing on the Pop R besides that sunfish, which is really surprising considering it's been cloudy all day. I thought the topwater bite would be pretty good, but it was not to be. So, since the only hits I've got have been on inline spinners, and since I'm going to try to catch a bigger fish, I guess the logical conclusion is I just got to use a bigger spinner. So I got a number 3 Blue Fox here. This is actually the same one that I was using at the Delaware last week, which did so well on the Smallies. So it works on the Delaware. I don't see why it wouldn't work on the Raritan too. There's a big old carp right there. Oh, he's off like a bolt of lightning. Like a fat, lumbering bolt of lightning. Well, guys, no bites on that spinner, and this rain does not seem to be letting up. So I think I'm going to call it a day. Not too bad of a day, numbers-wise anyway. I got probably about 10 smallies today, which isn't too bad. Just nothing of size. Couldn't find the bigger fish today. Nothing but dinks, but you know what? I'll take dinks. I'm not a picky man. Still a fun day on the river, and I know the fall feed is just getting started, and I'm going to have plenty more opportunities to get those big smallies. I know are going to be crushing the baits when the water starts cooling off a little bit more. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.